cheap. So here's everything that you need. Pardon my messy kitchen. So you're going to need baking soda, cornstarch, some sort of mineral salts. You can go for like Dead Sea salts or whatever. I like Epsom salts. They're really good for the skin, really soothing when you have like back pain like I do. And then this is just bulk purchased citric acid from Whole Foods. You can buy it online a little cheaper, but I never want to have to pay for shipping and never want to order tons and tons. So I just get it when I need it. You'll need some sort of fragrance oil or essential oils. So today I'm doing a lavender and lemon. But you could do like fragrance oils that you buy from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's as well. You need less of the essential oils than you would fragrance oils. So just kind of keep that in mind depending on what you use. Some sort of vegetable oil. A lot of people will use like almond oil or grapeseed oil, which is great. You're not using very much, so I just use like a good quality extra virgin olive oil because I always know that I have it in the house. You'll need a kitchen scale of some sort because you have to measure the dry ingredients by weight, not by volume. A bowl, a spoon, and then I always have like a little Tupperware container with a lid, like a little tiny one, and I'll show you on what I use that for later. And then something to put the bath bomb in to mold. You can use like a muffin tin. I have these little green, sorry they're wet, little green little cup things that are about a little less than a half a cup in volume. I got them like from the Asian market. I got like 10 for like $2. I use them for everything, and they're great for doing molds if you just want, like, if you're not picky about having a perfect round circle. If you do want a round circle, here's a little hint. It's almost Christmas time, so you can go to your craft store and get those, like those Christmas ornaments that you pop open so you can put your own stuff in. Those make great molds. And then measuring spoons. So first thing we're going to do is start with the dry ingredients. So we're going to do the 4 ounces of baking soda, which I almost have in there. If you hear loud noise, sorry, it's chaos. Someone came to the door and the dogs are going haywire. So 4 ounces. This isn't super science like when you're doing baking, but it is still somewhat science. So try to keep it as exact as possible. So the next thing we're going to do is 2 ounces of cornstarch. So we have 4. So that should make it equal 6 ounces of dry ingredients. There you go. Close enough. So what the cornstarch does is it helps to keep them light so that they will float in the bathtub as opposed to just sinking down to the bottom. So the next thing we're going to do is the salts, and I should have opened this first. So yeah, so we're going to do 2 ounces of the salts, and again, you can use whatever you want. Don't use like Morton's, don't use like table salt, some sort of mineral salts. So we're going to get this to equal about 8, a little bit more. Different salts obviously have different consistency depending on how it's ground. But like I said, I like the Epsom salts, but a Dead Sea salt would be super, super nice, but a little bit more expensive. There we go. And then last but not least, the citric acid. This is what helps to really kind of create that chemical reaction and the bubbles along with the baking soda. And this again is 2 ounces by weight. So all in all, we should have a total of 10 ounces, thereabouts, of dry ingredients. Almost there. Almost there. And there we go. Okay. So these are all of your dry ingredients. We're just going to stir that up a little bit. Just kind of get everything somewhat mixed together. Again, does not have to be like crazy because we're just going to be mixing it later with the wet ingredients. So go ahead and pour that into a bowl. Hopefully you'll be able to use 2 hands when you're doing yours, and you won't have a dog drinking water in the background. So put that in a bowl, and then we're going to do the wet ingredients. Okay, so in my little Tupperware I've put half a tablespoon of water and 1¼ tablespoons of oil. So the last thing to add is your fragrance. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. If you're using just some sort of like a fragrance oil, not like an essential oil, you're probably going to need about a teaspoon for this recipe. If you're doing essential oils like I'm doing, like pure oil, the Now brand is really good. And then this is the lavender that I have, which is also really nice. So you're really only going to need maybe a total of 10 drops or so. So I'm going to do, I want it more lavendery, so I'm going to do 3 drops of lemon. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do 7 drops of the lavender. Oops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. If you wanted to have them be colorful, this is the point where your bath bombs. If you wanted to make your bath bombs have some sort of color, this is the part where you would add any sort of food coloring. Again, very, very little to this, maybe 1 or 2 drops of food coloring. If not, it'll leave a ring around your tub. So I have it in the Tupperware. Put the lid on, and I'm going to shake this for about 30 seconds or so. So I added all the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. When you add it, you want to add it in slowly and try to stir while you are adding it. Because if not, it'll start bubbling already, and we don't want that. Because we want the baking soda and citric acid to wait and bubble when you're in the tub, not when you're mixing it in the bowl. So you're going to mix it until it becomes kind of like a sand consistency, or if you've ever done like a graham cracker crust where it's like crummy but not falling apart, but also not like soaking wet. So you want to get it to that point, and then once you get it to that point, you need to start molding everything up quick, because if not, it'll start to set up, and then you'll just have one giant bath bomb in your bowl, which could be fun. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mixing everything, and then get everything in the mold. So I have my bath bombs in their molds. I normally let them sit in the molds for a mold this size, probably for about 2 hours or so. You may need to pop them out and then just let them dry in the air after that first 2 hours, maybe for like another 2 hours or so, or even overnight or whatever, and then wrap them up and you're good to go. So yeah, so this has been my tutorial for how to do bath bombs. Have fun, play around with different fragrances and colors and all that good stuff. If you make your own bath stuff, I would love to see what you do as well. And I will see everybody tomorrow.